Hello and welcome to Sports Update on Trust TV. I am Emmanuel Fashimi. We've got a whole lot lined up this evening, and we'll be looking at a particular game this evening. But we'll look at one game on the continent of Africa, that is the CAF Champions League, where we have all our teams involved for this weekend, and also we'll look at a game tonight in the English Premier League, opener, the first game of the season. We'll be looking at that, another story. But we will begin at home because they say charity begins from home. This time around, we'll start with a different story on the show this evening. We'll talk about UFC. We always talk about it on our sports program. We'll talk about our Nigerians who are doing well when it comes to UFC. We have Adesanya, we have Kamaru Usman, a whole lot of them. These two guys are top guys when it comes to the UFC, the mixed martial arts sport. But we're talking about Adesanya, who will be fighting come this weekend, precisely tomorrow, right there in Australia. But he's going to be facing another African from South Africa, Plessis. Now, Adesanya, after war of words going on between these two guys, and Adesanya banks on experience to beat du Plessis in Australia. Like I said, that fight is set for tomorrow. That is 17th of August, right there in Australia. Adesanya says this fight is more than the bet. I want to beat this guy. The South African guy is also talking. So, who is the best on the African soil now between these two great fighters?
Good evening, Mr. Fash.
Okay, I have Shiando joining me on the show this evening. Please, I beg your pardon for not introducing you quickly. Shiando, well, I believe these two guys are top guys when it comes to UFC in the world and on the continent of Africa. But at this during they have this match, their match conference, well of words before the fight, and he says, I want to beat you, not because of the bet, but I want to beat you and tell you this. I am still that man when it comes to UFC.
Israel Adesanya is a Nigerian, not just a Nigerian. It's a typical African that speaks like an African and back it up by his actions. And incidentally, he's fighting against another brother Africa, but I mean, blood is thicker than water. We have to take side.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, so. The fight is actually, just much more than it's actually much more than what we'll be seeing in the in the octagon. It's actually about pride. Who truly
is the king of Africa.
So it's a battle of pride, a battle of throne, a battle of supremacy. So tonight or the early hours of tomorrow, let's see how it plays out to be. But for me, I'm 100% going for. King Easy.
Okay, the style bender, they call him. He said, yes, I want to bend everything, my fist, my leg, everything against du Plessis of South Africa. Who is the man to beat? He says, no, I'm not fighting for the belt alone. The belt is not the first point for me, but the first point is for me to beat you and tell you that I'm the best on the continent of Africa. The supremacy, like you hear Shando saying, supremacy is what it is for Israel Adesanya, and that fight will be coming up tomorrow. Let's see how that fight will go, and we'll give you the result on our sports show. Israel Adesanya against du Plessis of South Africa, and now Adesanya is banking on experience to actually beat this guy. All right, let's move away from that and talk football this evening, and we'll go straight to the grassroots football, where we have Shando as an expert in that area. We're talking about the National Youth League, the maiden edition of the National Youth League. Let's not forget we have the MPFL Youth League, but this one is a National Youth League where we have under 19, under 17. I think the highest age for this league is 20 years of age downward. 19, 18, 17 are to play in this league. And now from the maiden edition, the first person that will win this tournament this time around will go home with 40 million naira.
That sounds mouth-watering. That sounds tempting, but it's not about the take-home prize. It's about what the initiative, what the organization initiative stands for. Because are these guys here to help develop our football domestic league by having this scheme and then after a while properly guide these lads, and then graduate them into the senior, team, and subsequently have them, play good football, or they just want to do this because the money is involved? That is the question, because we had the same, tournament in the past, and then nothing was heard again of these guys that participated. So I don't know. Most times, I don't know if it's just about the money we're playing for, or we're playing for the purpose of trying to develop our team, have our homemade product and graduate into the senior team, and properly guide them to stand and play for.
Okay, like you said, the main purpose from the organizers, they say they want to actually harness talent. Now, as somebody who is an expert from the grassroots, how do you identify a player from the grassroots? What are those qualities? Because these are some of the things I believe the organizers should be looking for. It's not that just having 11 players running on the pitch of play and 40 million, like you said, is a mouth-watering fee, prize money for any winner of the league. But at the tail end, I think the money shouldn't be what should be in the minds of the players and also the organizers. So what are those things we, as those who will be reporting this, I'm not a football expert, what are those things we should be looking at for to say, okay, this is actually someone we can groom?
I think I've personally come across, some of the, online advertisement by, some of the, stakeholders, the pioneers, anchoring the event, this, youth initiative. But then, as I said earlier, according to them, according to how it should be, it's an open, merited, screening where, players are going to pick, basically based on their, their competence, their qualities. But my question remains the same: what happens to these players after the tournament?
Okay, what happens to these players after the tournament? I think the organizers will have answer to that. But from what they said during the draws and what have you, they say they are going to nurture these guys. But how long can they nurture them is a question that the organizers would answer. The National Youth League, like I said, is for under 19, under 19, 20. We have 18, 17 that we're playing in the maiden edition of the National Youth League. The winner of the league will go home with 40 million naira prize money. And we have two groups. The likes in Group A, we have Lobby Stars, we have AS Roma. AS Roma is a club in Nigeria. We have Kwara United, we have Kano Pillars, we have Yobe Desert Stars Warriors, we have ABS of Ilorin. That is all in Group A. And then in Group B, we have the likes of Rangers International, we have Abia Warriors, we have Aqua United, we have Shooting Stars of Ibadan, we have Gateway FC of Ogun State, we have Eniba of Aba, and Sunshine Stars in Group B. So all of these teams, they'll be slugging it out. Who goes home with the sum of 40 million naira prize money, and talents definitely will be discovered and they will be nurtured to the highest level, and we might see some of them playing in the under 17, under 20, under 23, and then they will graduate to the senior team of Nigeria, the Super Eagles. Shandu, like you mentioned, I think these are kind of programs that we should have in the country.
Exactly. It's a very good initiative. This is just how things are done, all over the world, But is the objective for this initiative transparent? What does it translate into afterward? Because ideally, some of the players are already in their 16s, 17s, 18s, and if properly guided, they are also, big enough to even play, to be integrated into the main team.
Okay.
So it's not just about keeping them in the age category forever, because you and I know what is involved. So after everything, how is it going to play out?
Okay.
Because this tournament, of course, is to give an avenue for these young lads to showcase, their hidden potentials, their raw potentials, and everything. But we must also not relent on creating a further, environment for them that will be able to accommodate them and bring out the real qualities in them, which is by guiding them properly and integrating them into the senior teams and guide them and see them play high standard football.
Okay, play high standard football. Definitely they need the guidance and everything. If talents have been discovered, all you need to do is to guide them, take them to the highest level and let them become what they want to be in the world. But they need guidance. You need to just groom them from the grassroots to the top level where they can also put their hands on their chest and say, yes, I have done well when it comes to the round leather game. Now, let's leave Nigeria. Let's talk about some continental matters. We have 3 clubs that will be participating in the continental football assignment this weekend, and we'll look at particular one. We have the likes of Academy Warriors, we have Remo Stars, and now we'll be looking at Rangers International, who will be playing against Zima Laduju of Comoros, a small island. That game will be coming up at the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium in Uyo, where Rangers eyes victories against this team. We might say it's a small team, but Rangers, like they said, we are not looking at them that they are a small team. We just want to get the win from, at least they need to get it from the first round of the CAF Champions League.
I just hope they are not being carried away, by their recent achievement, lifting the trophy, the MPFL trophy, and also thinking that the team is actually from a very little island, considering the standard, the profile, and the pedigree of Rangers, Tinubu State as a state in a big country like Nigeria, and also Akwa Ibom State where the match will be played. But one thing I should assure them is, they have to be very careful, because today, somebody who considered to be a minor could just turn out to, be a giant and upset you unexpectedly, because football now is full of surprises. No team is an underdog anymore.
Okay, let's look at Fidelis Lechuku. You know him, and he's looking at his incident and what he has done so far for Rangers International, first season, first trophy, and now he is also going with Rangers into this particular game. How far so good? What has been for Fidelis Lechuku?
Fidelis Lechuku as a person is a very wonderful personality. He's a good person. He's a good tactician. He's a good coach. He's done incredibly well. With all the teams he has coached, and just the way we witnessed recently, lifting the trophy with Rangers International in his first season. But I mean, the coach does not come into the field of play and play. He has a limited role to play. He has to instruct the boys, go into the field and do this. If the boys actually fail him, then there's nothing he can do. He has almost nothing or little to do.
Okay, now we have 3 of them on the continent. We have, I think, 4. How can we, because the last time we tasted success on the continent was 2-3, 2-4 with Enyimba of Aba. How can Nigerian club sides get it right? One worry problem for me right now is that all the 3 teams will be using that Godswill Akpabio International Stadium for their home games. The stadium here in Abuja was to be used for Academy Warriors home game, and along the line, CAF say no, that the stadium is not up to standard. That's the Moshood Abiola National Stadium here in Abuja. For Academy Warriors will no longer be, it's not up to the standard to host continental engagement. What can we do to actually stop all of this? Because we need our clubs to be playing at their home ground.
I think administratively and facility-wise, we're not ready for CAF tournament. I mean, in the past, 2004, 2003, 2002. That's like a long time, 20-something years ago, and you could see that Nigeria as a nation was, almost shoulder to shoulder with other European nations in terms of standard in facilities. But today, we failed to capitalize on what we had, and we still live, on the glory of the past, which everybody has gone past that stage, and we're left behind. So, putting all the matches in Uyo, I don't think it's a day thing to do. But of course, that also shows you how low our league has been, and our facilities have depreciated.
Okay, our facilities just need to be up and better so that we can be hosting continental games. Our various clubs hosting their continental games in their home ground. If you go to the North African countries, I can use Morocco as an example. If I leave Morocco, I go to Egypt. If I leave Egypt, I go to Tunisia. Libya, of all, if you go there, they have mini stadiums, they have training pitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 training pitches, and that is, we just have to get it right. Administratively, we need to improve our facilities. We just need to start doing what we can to see that we go back to the glory days where Nigerian football used to be the toast of the continent and of the world. All right, let's leave the continent of Africa and go straight to Europe. Hours from now, tonight, the big one will happen. They say it is the most watched league in the world, the most glamorous league in the world, the most exciting league in the world, the most fascinating league in the world. Yes, tonight that league is going to start. We're talking about the English Premier League. Also, the most fascinating league in Africa is the MPFL. You can argue with your keep out on that one. But the EPL tonight will be starting, and we'll be going to the Manchester, the west side of Manchester, where Fulham, a team from London, will visit Manchester tonight. That is Iwobi Bassi ready to face Manchester United in season opener.
It's a good weekend. You know, it will be a very busy weekend for everyone, indeed. And for Man U, Erik ten Hag, I don't think he has actually found his stride, because he keeps complaining that they're not ready for the start of the commencement of the league yet. But then this time around, they are hosting a visiting team all the way from London, and they are a historical team. They've got a lot of history. Winning UEFA Champions League, EPL, and so many prizes. So I think with that they should just build confidence around the achievement, and then give a good fight to the visitors. But as a Nigerian, I think Iwobi and Bassi, they'll be players to watch tonight.
Okay, for EPL, they say it is the most exciting league in the world, and what have you, the most watched league in the world. How true is that?
Yeah, it's the most watched, the most glamorous, and of course the media actually played a huge role in in the publicity, trying to bring a lot of flair into the league, and everybody knows that when you talk about EPL, everybody yes EPL, but we talk about sometimes some teams in La Liga you call, and there's people are asking, what is that team?
Okay, let's just stay with this game tonight. Last season, we saw what Fulham did against Manchester United. I think in the return leg of that game, two Nigerians at the same time, Iwobi and Bassi, getting on the score sheet in that particular game against Manchester United. Like you mentioned, Erik ten Hag actually granted an interview and said Man U is not ready for the season, but they just have to play. Do you think Fulham can at least take disadvantage of some of the injuries that is in Manchester United right now, and get the first 3 points of the season, because this is the first game of the season opener for both teams in the league?
Football is not just a game of physical. It also involves a lot of psychology. So, and a game of mindset. It has a mind game. So maybe what Erik ten Hag came out to say in the media, could be true. He could just be playing, mind games with the opponent just to make them feel relaxed, and then he have his way, through them. So I don't think because Man U is a very big team, and United is a very big team, indeed, and they have a lot of players. So if they're having injury, crisis with 1 or 2 players, does not mean that they don't just have 11 players. They have like 45 to 50 players registered for the league. So if they have an injury crisis, that doesn't mean it's the end of the team. So it could be a mind game, So I don't want to completely go or agree with what ten Hag actually came out to say.
Okay, you don't want to actually agree with what ten Hag actually came out to say. Man, Manchester United, they are suffering injuries. The likes of Lenny Euro, their new signing, is out 3 months. We have Rasmus Højlund also out with injury. Luke Shaw also out with injury. A lot of injuries for that team. And for Fulham, I believe they have a full house that will be visiting Old Trafford tonight in the season opener for the English Premier League. Let's see how that game will go up tonight. That game is 8 p.m. Nigeria time. You can go out there, enjoy yourself, and watch that game as the most exciting league in the world start. We know that La Liga started yesterday, and we'll be seeing games upon games. All right, let's leave that story and quickly look at some transfer on the show this evening. Before we go, let's start with PSG. We'll go straight to French Ligue 1, where they are confident of sign Rennes midfielder Desire Do, a fantastic midfielder who plays for Rennes. In the French Ligue 1, where PSG actually are confident of signing this fantastic and enterprising young man who is also being scouted by other clubs in Europe. All right, let's look at this one. I'll come back to the English Premier League. Manchester United in talks with Burnley over a deal for midfielder Sander Berge. Manchester United are looking for. We look at that story in the morning on the morning show. Eriksen is to leave the club. But do you think, if we look at Manchester United squad right now, do they really need a midfielder? Which area do you want them to? Do you think they can strengthen attack, midfield, defense? Where do you think their problem lies? Because we saw what they did last season. It wasn't the best of the seasons for Man U in their history.
You know, going for a midfielder, I think is a good thing because if we consider the age and you know, the standard in which Casemiro, you know, imputes now, you know that he's apparently gone past his prime. You know, so going for a midfielder, the question is the midfielder really an ideal midfielder for a big team like Manchester United? That's the question we should ask ourselves. And also, you know, Manchester United is a team that has always been known for qualities and not quality. So, qualities and not quantity. So, I'm beginning to wonder because every now and then they keep bringing in a lot of players. So I just hope that they find exactly what they are looking at for in these players.
Okay, for Manchester United, you believe because Casemiro has passed his prime, they actually need to be. Which other area do you think they can beef up? Defense, attack, or all of the departments?
In the attack, I don't think you know, they are lacking anything. You know, I think the attack is okay. The defense line with the new acquisition of Euro, unfortunately, he's sidelined with you know, an injury that will take him out for
3 months.
3 months, but I think the team is good. They just have to get it mentally right because, as I said, you can have a whole lot of stars in your team, but if the players are not mentally, you know, organized, you know, and are willing to work in synergy, trust me, it's never going to work out positively. Okay, let's leave that Manchester United and look at the last one on the show this evening. We'll go straight to the Italian Serie A. AC Milan agrees with Monaco to buy midfielder Youssoufou Fofana. Fofana is a fantastic guy. I think I had a glimpse of some of his how he plays and fitting into AC Milan squad. I think it's a good one. Shando quickly. Exactly, because AC Milan is a team that plays a lot of football. They don't just go in physical. They also do a lot of play. They do a lot of positioning. So, and Fofana is that kind of midfielder that likes to also mark and also play with the ball to his feet. So, it will be a very good addition for them. Okay,
it's going to be a very good addition for AC Milan. If they can actually get Youssoufou Fofana. All right, that is where we'll be leaving the show this evening. But we'll not just leave the show like that. We'll also leave you with a video to savor the moment of Edo Queens against our Sakas ladies while we enjoy what they are doing in Abidjan, where the CAF Women's Champions League qualification, Wafu B region, is ongoing. Enjoy that. They've qualified for the semi-final, and we hope they get that final ticket come against the other teams they will be playing and represent the Nigeria at the CAF Women's Champions League. All right, Shando, thanks for joining me this evening. It's been a wonderful one having you on Sports Update.
It's my pleasure, Mr. Fash. You have a very wonderful weekend, and I hope you reclaim your position on the remote control in the house.
Of course, I will do that definitely because the EPL is back tonight. Go enjoy Manchester United against Fulham in the English Premier League. That is it on the program. I am Emmanuel Fashemi. Say thanks for watching.